I thought somebody will catch me. Okay, PDC minus P out divided by 2, right? Right or not? PDC is the total power input and this is the amount of power output remaining goes into dissipation. Two transistors. And it comes about 10% or 11% or something. It's a very small amount of power dissipation compared to class A condition. So now, if you are making a 100-watt amplifier, then this fellow must dissipate 10 watts approximately or even slightly more. Now this transistor must dissipate 10 watts. What does dissipation mean? So much of heat is generated inside and this heat has to be taken out. Otherwise this fellow will go on getting heated up and the temperature will go up and the fellow will burn. So you need to take out this wattage somehow or other thermally. So you must mount this transistor so that the heat generated inside somehow gets out of the transistor. And what are the ways of heat coming out? In physics you must have studied in class 12. What are the three mechanisms? Conduction, convection and radiation, right? I don't have much of a convection here, although if I can put some cold air on it, I can have some convection, but that is very difficult to do, put a fan on it, and people do that, but they put a fan onto it so that the heat is taken out by the but normal procedure things we have is only radiation and conduction. And radiation you know is equal to, related to emissivity multiplied by surface area multiplied by T minus T0 to the power of 4, right? So there is a certain temperature it reaches with respect to outside world and the transistor manufacturer specifies that the device temperature should not exceed this much. So you know what is the T of the device, T0 you know room temperature, that multiplied by emissivity of the material into a surface area. So you need to hopefully that the surface area of the device, which are usually like chocolates, so it has a comparatively good amount of surface area, but quite often that surface area is not good enough to take out the heat. So I must artificially create additional surface area. So what the people do is put a heat sink and mount this transistor on this. A heat sink is a good thermal conductor to take out the heat by conduction, and usually copper or aluminum is used for this material. So the heat from here goes into this heat sink by conduction. From here it has to get out somewhere, that goes by radiation. So you increase the surface area of the transistor effectively, and also you increase the emissivity of the surface. Which surface has maximum emissivity? Which surface has maximum emissivity? Black surface, right? So you paint it with black conducting material. So heat sinks are sold with black color and with a certain amount of surface area made out of good thermal conductor like aluminum or copper or even more exotic materials. But you must remember, if you are doing any audio amplifier design any time and implementing it, this should only have a thermal connection between the two, but no electrical connection, right? So these two should be separated out by some layer which has a high thermal conductivity but low electrical conductivity. Understood? Good. You know metals, unfortunately, if the thermal conductivity increases, electrical conductivity also increases. So I can't put any another metal in between. So the materials which have this property of low electrical conductivity by high thermal conductivity are ceramics. So there is a ceramic plate which is put in between and then mounted with respect to this, and this fellow is a thermal conductor and black coated. People even do further tricks in making something like this plate. They make corrugations on the plate. The only reason for that is the corrugation increases the surface area. For the same volume, you get more amount of actual surface area for radiation purposes. So you make some kind of tooth on it, so the surface area. You go and buy one and they'll give you one like this, and you may start thinking, why is it so? So all these are logically done. It is not that he just made it something. So the surface area increased by putting these teeth on it, and the color is black and this material is aluminum or something, and he also supplies you the gasket which you need to put in between the two. Okay? This you have to do when the power here is dissipated, power is significant, and that depends on how much is the power amplifier designed for. So audio power amplifiers you need to worry about. But before I say something about closing this one, let me also say something about it. I am assuming here a sine wave, but music is not a sine wave, right? Music is something which goes up and down very depending upon how which instruments have been played or who is singing and so on and so forth. So how do I model this input? The classical model for this is a Gaussian waveform, Gaussian random process, which we studied. We assume that this input to be a Gaussian process, a random process corresponding to music. Okay, that's the best assumption that I can make. So the RMS value of that we said in the class is equal to peak value divided by 3, right? Remember or not? Because that covers the probability of almost 99.999% or something. So we said as long as the amplitude is restricted to 3 times the sigma, most of the amplitudes are covered. So we said peak is equal to 3 times sigma. The sigma which you are using here for finding RMS value must be used with respect to the Gaussian really. So people actually specify what is called as a PMPO. They don't talk about sine wave. Good old days we used to talk only sine waves, but now they specify with respect to PMPO. They say the amplifier is rated for 1000 watt PMPO. What does it mean? 1000 watts of peak music power. That means if some time when the music takes on peak values, this amount of power you can get. So what is RMS power of that? 1 by 9, right? Because peak is this, so RMS will be 1/3 of that, so RMS square will be 1/9 of it, so approximately 1/10 of it will be the power. So he is cheating you by saying my amplifier is a 1000 watt amplifier. It is only a 100 watt amplifier with respect to sinusoidal signal, right? So the number is jacked up for purpose of sales, saying my amplifier has a 1000 watt PMPO, but actually it is a 100 watt is the sinusoidal power. So you must understand why we are worried about Gaussian waveforms and peak values and RMS values and all these things, because this is how we need to translate that information into this kind of designs. Okay. So PMPO stands for peak music power output. After doing all this, if you put a sine wave, you will never get a sine wave here fully. There is some amount of distortion invariably. So if you plot power output versus distortion, How do you define distortion? You put a sine wave at a frequency f, okay, there will be some amount of power output. In that there will be fundamental component, remaining are harmonics. You subtract the harmonic power, and the harmonic power is the distortion power, and the fundamental is the output power. So, it is basically the output power minus the desired power is the distortion power. This is by definition, and that is how we use in audio amplifiers. So, what would happen? How does this curve look like? Make a guess. For low powers, the distortion is low, right? And as the power goes up, the sine wave starts getting clipped, more and more distortion will come. So, higher the power, there will be more distortion. So, this curve will be something like this. Almost 0 may be here, I exaggerated it, but almost 0. Now, as a music buff, you would like to say that I do not tolerate any distortion more than 0.1%, 1%, 10%, it depends upon how bad or how good your ears are. But typically, the specification is that this distortion should be somewhere between 0.01% to 0.1%. No good audio amplifier, no amplifier can be called a good audio amplifier if the distortion percentage is greater than 0.1%. So, I need to maintain this specification when I make a audio amplifier and sell it. So, what does that mean? That means my distortion tolerance is somewhere like this. This PMPO, although it is talking about 1000 watts, I can only use it up to this, right. So, when you buy a 1000 watt amplifier, power amplifier, you will never will operate at 1000 watts. Because moment you go to more than about 2 watts or 3 watts of audio power, your ears will start getting jittery. So, you operate this around very small values, so that at that point the distortion is a very small percentage, which is tolerable. For maintaining this, they design it up to here. Although you never require 1000 watts, you design it such that you are guaranteed that you have a distortion less than 0.1% when you are using for a normal level of output. 2 watts, 3 watts, 5 watts, different size of the room. So, these are the specifications that comes out of this audio amplifier design, class AB, and bell is over. I have to cover class D. I thought I will finish today, but we spent too much time on this. Okay, we will do it next class.